we have 3 bills for fiscal review and 1 exec on a bill that we've heard. We'll go ahead and, again, we have no testimony on the fiscal reviews or the exec. We'll start with the fiscal review bills. Before us, we have House Committee Substitute for House Bill 402 from Representative Mosley. Nope, sorry. Well, that's right. I make a motion we go into executive session. Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, the ayes have it. We are now in executive session. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to start out with the fiscal review bills. We have House Committee Substitute for House Bill 402 by Representative Mosley. It deals with the naming of lottery winners. The bill is similar to Senator Mosley's bill, which is recently on the Senate floor, zero cost to unknown. Lottery Commission assumes a reduction in sales and revenue if this publishing ability is not available, could exceed $250,000. That's the summary I've got on the bill. Any discussion? Seeing none, I would move that we do pass House Committee Substitute for House Bill 402. Do I have a second? I have a second. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Huff, White,
Aye.
Bernstetter, Searpoy, Lukemeyer, Rader, Rizzo, Roberts, 5-0.
By a vote of 5-0, the bill do pass. I make a motion that we take up House Committee Substitute for House Bill 85 and 310 for fiscal review. Do I have a second? I have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. It's before us. This is Senator Taylor's, though it does have a Senate Committee Substitute, Representative Taylor's bill. This is known as the Second Amendment Preservation Act. Cost is zero to unknown. Oversight assumes the total state fiscal impact could exceed $250,000 due to potential civil action and the addition of civil penalty of $50,000 for any violation under various rule sections. Do we have any discussion on the bill? Seeing none. Madam Secretary, I make a motion that we vote do pass House Committee Substitute for House Bill 85 and 310. Do I have a second? I have a second. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Huff, White,
Aye.
Bernstetter, Searpoy, Lukemeyer, Rader, Rizzo, Roberts, 4-1.
By your vote of 4-1, the bill is voted out, do pass. I next make a motion that we take up Senate Committee Substitute for House Committee Substitute for House Bill 649. We have a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. The bill is before us. This bill regards unemployment security. The cost is zero from GR, but on federal funds there could be a cost of more than or less than $38 million the first year, $46 million when fully implemented. Do we have any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, please call the roll. Make a motion that we vote do pass Senate Committee Substitute for House Committee Substitute for House Bill 649. I have a second. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senators Huff, White,
Aye.
Bernstetter, Searpoy, Lukemeyer, Rader, Rizzo, Roberts, 4-1.
By your vote of 4-1, you have voted Senate Committee Substitute for House Committee Substitute for House Bill 649 do pass. Next, I make a motion we take up House Bill 507 that deals with excursion boat gambling. Do I have a second? Second. We have a second.
Okay, can you guys give me a 5x5? Let me know if you can hear me. A 5x5. Anyone in the live stream, let me know if you can hear me okay. We did get right through, and by the way, it's on the record now. We did get right through, but I want to let you guys know what the call to action is now, because I know exactly what to do now that this has been passed out of the Government Oversight Committee. Hey there, Pika. Good morning. Hopefully you guys can hear me. 5x5. Excellent. Okay, gang. What you guys just heard officially was Huff letting this out of his committee. And I have not been able to get any intel on what changed his mind or why he let it out, but I'm sure it's largely due to all of you who are making phone calls, sending emails, putting pressure on Huff to get this done. So that's correct, Gabriel. That's right. Um, so it's Schatz and then also his deputy pro tem, which is Ryson. Hang on one second, gang. Let me get this up. Senators, and then leadership. Nope, directory. Okay, I'm gonna get you guys. It's Rowden and Schatz, particularly Schatz, as M. Gabriel has said. M. Gabriel's 2 steps ahead of me. Um, Rowden and Schatz, particularly Schatz, are the ones that we need to call next. So that's who we need to call, basically for them to give it a calendar date. So basically, the next call to action is actually really simple. Calling Schatz office. You can email too if you want. Just let's light up his phone lines, Dave Schatz, and let him know we want House Bill 85 on the calendar ASAP, as soon as possible. There's no reason to be rude with Schatz. So we just call him up and support the Second Amendment Preservation Act. And once again, guys, it's really good when you make these phone calls to actually give a reason why. I've been leaving many messages on his phone, office phone. All right, thank you, Jerry. That is really appreciated. This is how we're getting this done. This is grassroots stuff here. You guys who have been following this for the last 2 years see how difficult it can be to get things done. But what's really great about what we're doing right now is we're getting real-time data on where to apply the pressure. And so that way it's not a week or 10 days later before we get the next action. We're running out of time. Next Friday, which is the 15th of May, is the very last legislative day of the year for the Missouri State Legislature. It's the very last day, so we have to move at hyper, velocity here, warp speed, if you will. So this is what we do. We call up Schatz, and then I'm going to also call Rowden, the deputy. So if Schatz is like hit by a bus or comes down with scurvy or whatever, then Rowden takes his position. So I'm not leaving anything to chance. I'm calling both of them. That's what I'm asking you guys to do as well. I'll make a second video about that, since this live stream was really just about putting on the record everything that's happening procedurally in the Senate as well as in the House. I have a House video. You guys, remember that. So is there still some technical thing with Huff reporting it out and Schatz receiving it? No, what you just heard is that right now. So that's exactly what happened, is that it has now been voted out of the committee by the committee members. So, and it was, as you so correctly put in there, Gabriel, it was 4-1. So that's exactly what happened. So it was due pass, and that means it's left the committee, and it's in a pool of bills right now waiting for a calendar date. So we have to call up Schatz to make sure that he cherry picks this out very quickly and throws it on the calendar. Chances are it'll be on the calendar Monday or Tuesday of next week if we start making our phone calls. And Gabriel, M. Gabriel says, will call was quite disappointing last year. It was. We actually had 2 paths to get that done last year until they shut down the government. And that, but ours wasn't the only one that was shut down. But it was a shame. A lot of people put in a lot of hard work to get that done, only to be shut down, by the beer flu. Let's see. Getting info from Missouri Firearm Coalition. Yep, good deal, Jerry. Aaron is a friend of mine, by the way. So this year, last year I was able to talk to him quite a bit. This year, not so much. But the same thing is true with Ron Calzone. These guys are working really hard on the inside, gang. You know, we can't forget the contributions. In fact, this wouldn't even happen if it weren't for those guys. We're the grassroots side. So Ron, you know, works on the inside. I talk to Ron more than I talk to Aaron, so I kind of consider Ron my general on the Second Amendment Preservation Act, and you know, I'm his you know, captain or lieutenant along with Jimmy D, and then we get the information out to the masses so the grassroots, you know, knows what to do to help get the bill passed. But we have no illusions about it. We do what we do, but it's the masses making phone calls, sending emails, sending letters, making trips to Jeff City is what's making it happen. And that's the truth. So if you see some guy sitting there trying to take all the credit, you know, for this getting through, that person should be admonished because it was a massive group effort of people that care about their Second Amendment rights in the state of Missouri. And I even know some people who are not in Missouri that are making the phone calls too, which is awesome. I love that. Um, let's see. Doesn't Schatz receive it and Rowden put it on the calendar? Gabriel, I think you're absolutely 100% right. Schatz receives it, and then Rowden actually, with Schatz, puts it on the calendar. So basically, both of them are critical to call, in my opinion. Um, and Jerry, hey, no problem, man. I'm just doing my part, and I'm doing this for my daughter and my grandkids, so that they still have their Second Amendment right. You know, basically, as long as they, unfortunately, as long as they stay in the state of Missouri, because we see a lot of attacks happening on the federal level. That's a beautiful thing. Hey, American Man's here. Hey there, buddy. Nice to have you here. We're getting really close to the end of the journey here with the Second Amendment Preservation Act. So I'm documenting everything, and I'm getting intel from, you know, folks on the inside in Jeff City, along with broadcasting everything that happens publicly about it. And that's another really important thing, gang. The documentation we're doing on it will help other states. So they can come back to the Truth, Money, and Freedom podcast and look at all. And in fact, I'll set up a playlist for all the pertinent data with the Second Amendment Preservation Act, so that other states will have, you know, basically at least they will see the pitfalls that we've had. I'm not going to say that we did everything perfectly every step. You know, it's always a gamble. They took our guns, man, Parapig. Man, Pig Bear, sorry about that. Let's see. I'm just waiting when we open. So, let's see. Let's see. We'll be going to work soon. Okay, Pika, no problem, man. I'll talk to you soon. And thank all of you guys for you know, watching this and participating in the process. Very, very critical. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to copy this data, copy, and edit. I am actually right now putting in Caleb Rowden and his telephone number, and Dave Schatz and his telephone number in the description section right now. Of course, you know, YouTube isn't easy to work with, so it's a bit of a challenge. Hang on, I'm almost there. There we go. And call these two senators to schedule HB85 on the calendar ASAP. Okay, gang, if you look in the description section now, there should be the two senators and their telephone numbers. let's see, just got here, so it passed out of committee. That's correct, Casey Rich. Thanks to you and everyone else that was putting pressure on our good friend Huff. So Huff, for some reason had a come to Jesus moment and decided to yesterday actually decided to actually put it on the schedule for today to pass it out of his committee. So, and I think that's largely due to all of you making these phone calls, putting pressure on him. Um, I can't say enough good about you guys. Thank you, everyone, for what you're doing. You're making a difference. Actually, is what you're seeing right now is that you're seeing the grassroots movement actually make a difference in state politics and state policy and state law. That's what you guys are seeing right now in real time. We went up against Huff, and the pressure was so enormous. We filled up his voicemail, and then when he emptied it out, we filled it again. And not to mention, we did a live stream dedicated to him. We let his office know. Um, so this is unfortunately what you have to do. Now, in a perfect world, you'll find your politicians actually doing the right thing, all the time. Where's the phone numbers? Shoot, did they not come through? Give me a second here. Uh, Live. Edit title and description. They're right there in the description section. So let me find it for you real quick. Thing. Okay, it is right here in the description section of the video. Caleb Rowden and Dave Schatz. I should probably switch them around. Dave Schatz, well, you need to call both. So just call them both, and here's what I would do. Let's say I'm calling them right. In fact, maybe I should call right now if I could find my house phone. Dave Schatz. No, I don't want to call in case someone picks up in his office. Um, Here's the deal, gang. When you call, just say you know that it's now been passed out of committee, and you want this to have a calendar date as soon as possible. And that's what you basically say. Hey, listen, the reason I support the Second Amendment Preservation Act is because all this squirrely bullcrap going on in D.C., and it is your job as, basically a sworn-in officer of the state of Missouri to protect my rights. It is your job to do so. So in order for that to happen, you need to give this a calendar date as soon as possible for the Senate floor. And I, very much appreciate your very quick attention to this. Let's see, do we keep pushing them to get it on the floor ASAP? Yes, that's right. And we're going to be nice about it. There is absolutely no reason not to be nice for these guys because I think they're seeing a lot of things going on right now. I think they're already under some pressure, but I'm not leaving anything to chance. I'm going to probably call both of them once a day until we find out it's been actually put on the calendar. Let's see, I want St. Louis and Kansas City to die. I don't want to see the day the D's take over Missouri just like Nevada. Actually, I'm going to do a live stream, or not a live stream, but a podcast about that with a guy by the name of Conjecture. And then also there's another guy, which is Free American Press. And he had a really good idea, something I never even thought about. And it's actually a pretty good idea. We'll talk about it a little bit more later, but I'll give you guys a heads up on it. In the United States government, the House of Representatives represents the population. Okay? We all know this. It's like an accordion. Basically different states get more representatives than they get less based on their population. That's the main reason we have a census, by the way, is for the House of Representatives. So every 10 years we get a census. And Okay. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Hopefully I'm back. I think the batteries died on my headset. So hang on. Should be back on. Should. Okay, can you guys hear me? Testing 1 2 3. 5 by 5, please. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Yep. Okay, hang on 1 second here. Testing 1 2 3. You guys should be able to hear me. It's coming through on OBS anyway. Good, CC. Okay, we're good now. Okay, sorry about that. Apparently, um, the battery died in my wireless headset, so I apologize about that. Apparently, I did not charge them last night. Okay, basically, the concept that I was talking about, is that what you guys want to hear about? The concept of rearranging state senates to prevent basically a blue takeover of a state. It can actually happen. We've seen it happen in many states where the states go from red to blue, or basically there's so much blue in centralized in the cities, and all the representation is there. So there's a way to fix it, and that's something that the Free American Press, you guys know him, his name is Alex, and I do podcasts with him from time to time. Pretty sharp kid. Young man, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be calling him a kid. Um, I thought it was something I did. Okay, yep, no, sorry about that, Jerry. That was me being stupid and not charging my headset before I did a broadcast. Um, but what I'm saying, though, is that the House of Representatives in the United States for the federal government is based on, the House is based on population, and the Senate is based on land mass, or not necessarily land mass, but every state, borders. So the House, basically states will lose and gain members based on their population, but the Senate stays the same. So, so at any rate, I think that we should look into our states actually doing something to do representation like that, because cities like Kansas City and St. Louis, large population centers, particularly Kansas City, actually get more representation with our senators. So what we would have to do is take counties. Each senator take like 3 counties, represent 3 counties. And then it's not based on cities anymore. It's based on the actual land or borders. Once again, instead of state borders, it's based on county borders. And that would prevent basically takeovers of states, turning them blue. And Alex looks like he has fun. Yes, he does. He does have a good time. He loves what he does. Um, so, but the Free American Press actually brought that to me, and I never thought about that. Never. It's just not something that ever, entered into, my memory bank. Never. I'm not even sure I heard about it before. But he's a pretty sharp young man, and so at any rate, that would be something that a lot of us could do in our states, is actually introduce legislation to prevent the cities from becoming too powerful, and the cities end up blue. And then before long, you have more representation in the cities than you will for large swaths of land, where the population is more sparse. So if there's equal representation in the Senate of the state of Missouri, like there is in the Senate of the United States federal government, then we can correct problems. We can correct, issues. Not that I'm buying into the whole right-left paradigm, but let's see. But I just can't bring myself to go to the box. Okay, well, out of the box thinking is good. To return balance to the House Senate power, the Constitution's ratification, 72 senators would be added. Each state would get 1.4 new senators. Yep. Let's see. Let the cities make their own rules. Yeah, they can. But when the cities have so much representation, they're changing the laws in your state that affect everybody that are not in those cities. That's where the problem is. So, at any rate, we're going to probably do a podcast on this. As soon as I'm done with Second Amendment Preservation Act, gang, This is really, really important to me. You guys know this. I've been working it very hard, and I want to see it through to the end, and that is coming up very quickly. We should have this done by the end of next week and on the governor's desk. It's going to happen that fast now. And we all need to do our part here. We all need to make these phone calls and emails. And remember now, Caleb Rowden and Dave Schatz, right below in the description section. I'll make a supplementary video on this later on today to make sure that everyone knows that's where the pressure needs to go right now. That's where the pressure needs to go, on those two guys. And remember, please be nice when you call. All right, we'll see you in Nevada. Take care. Let's see. Okay, so basically that's it for now. If you guys have any questions, please type them in the comment section. Please let me know. If you guys have any questions about procedurally what's going on right now. We have two bills right now, which is good. That means we have options. So we have Senate Bill 39 and House Bill 85, and they're both very, very similar. And it's not even about the similarity. It's about if basically the Senate starts to attack one of them or try to add amendments to it, we could drop it and go right to the other bill at the drop of a hat. So that's what it's all about, is having options. The House bill is my favorite out of the two. I think it's a better bill, slightly better. I meant it's hard to get better than the Senate bill, but it did it. Let's see. And also, the House bill has already been vetted and gone through a perfection process. And actually, that process annoyed me when it happened, but I was grateful for it in the end, because we actually had some sheriffs come forward and say, you know what, I'll support your bill if you put something for this in. And that was Brad DeLay, Lawrence County in Missouri. He came up with something that none of us thought of, which is kidnappings over state lines. And no one thought of that. Aaron Dorr didn't think of it. Ron didn't think of it. Eric Burleson, Jared Taylor, I didn't think of it. Jimmy D didn't think of it. But the sheriffs have experience that we don't have. So if they think of something, when they really read this bill and they digest it and they come up with a good idea, we need to literally account for this, adjust for this, because these situations do happen, and the gun thing will come up in these scenarios. We're grateful when they provide, constructive criticism. So, some sheriffs were actually helpful, believe it or not. Okay. All right, doesn't look like you guys have any questions or anything, so I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I got a lot on my plate today that I got to take care of, but there will be another video coming out this afternoon, once again talking about what we need to do next, the next call to action. And I think I already know what it is. I haven't heard from anyone in Jeff City yet, but I know the procedurally what's going on right now. I understand it. So does M. Gabriel, by the way, and Gabriel, you've been a great source as well. You're following the process. Let's see. HB85 310 is already through the House process. Senate Bill 39 has a long way to go in the House still. Yep. That is actually one of the issues that we're dealing with. However, it could go very, very quickly. But if we save time if we do HB85. That is correct. So the reason being is because the amendments could be made to Senate Bill 39, or not the amendments, the changes that were done with HB85. But if we want to start through that process again, and then we run into problems or difficult politicians, ones that don't want to change it, they stall. That's the issue we face with this. So the best thing to do is HB85 right now. That is the best way to go. And I think that's probably the way we'll go in the end, is HB85 this time next week. Literally by this time next week will probably be passed by the House. By the Senate. It'll already have gone back to the House. And then, because there's been one minor change about the chilling effect of taxation. So that's the minor change that's been done to HB85 since it was passed out of the House. It'd have to go back down to the House for reapproval. And then once it's approved by the House, then boom, it goes right to the governor's desk. And so, and I don't know when the governor will sign it, but at least it will be on his desk. And then we have two more short periods, short sessions for Missouri government, for the legislature, to handle things where the governor vetoes something. I don't anticipate that with Parsons at this point. I really don't. That would really surprise me, actually. Do you think it would make it to the governor's desk if it passes today? Well, Robin, that's a good question. I think it would if it passed today. But once again, if they even vote on it today, which is highly unlikely, they're doing budgetary stuff in the Senate right now. So I'm expecting it to go through the process on Monday or Tuesday. That's probably when the Senate will vote on this bill, literally Monday or Tuesday of next week. And then when they pass it, what happens is it goes right back down to the House, and then it gets scheduled probably immediately, right away. And then I would say by Thursday of next week, they will re-vote on it and pass it. And then it's been passed by both the House and the Senate, and then it just goes right to the governor's desk for signing. American Man says, TC, you should develop a system that trains people on how to address the local Dem politicians in turn at blue. We could all use some training in this area. Sure, we could do something like that and turn it red. I knew what you meant, American Man. Parsons said he would sign it. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And frankly, it would be a political nightmare for him if he didn't sign it, and that's the truth. Our governor, Parsons, I'm going to have to say, is probably in a position right now where he can't veto this. And there's a lot of political pressure. And actually, there's a lot of people that played into that. And in fact, I think Aaron Dorr has a lot to do with Parsons liking this bill. So we give credit where credit is due. So I think Aaron Dorr had a lot to do with that. That was last year, by the way, that he did that. And that's the guy who runs the Missouri Firearms Coalition. No problem, American Man. And Blue Jean Girl, of course, give my best to your better half there, American Man. Okay, well, once again, on the record, we're on the record now. It is passed out of committee. Huff, literally had a change of heart or a come to Jesus meeting with somebody or succumbed to the pressure that he was getting. And that's been fixed. Oh, no problem, Robin. Robin says, thank you for doing these live streams. It's been my pleasure. Like I said, the main thing is to provide a place where people can get information to act on, and then also have everything on the record, because we want other states to pass this bill ASAP. There's strength in numbers with the Second Amendment Preservation Act. Casey Rich says, I don't think Parsons wants to sign it, but has no choice if it makes it to his desk. I think that is correct, Casey Rich. That would be my assessment as well. He politically, he can't veto this, I think, politically. M. Gabriel, the racist history of gun control is a good starting point. Yep, we could talk about that too. Racist, taking guns, making sure black slaves didn't have guns, making sure Jews didn't have guns. And by the way, that's just two easy picks out of history. There's a lot more examples. Let's see. Dinah Fash, moving to Missouri. SAPA is a sweetener. Hey, that's awesome. We'd love to have you. Love, people who actually respect the Constitution of the United States, love the Second Amendment, and go after corrupt politicians. That's what we do here in Missouri. American Man, a Blue Jean Girl. TC, coffee. Yes, I will thank you. Okay. Let's see. Harrison County has been notified to start calling. Thank you. Harrison Co. So, okay. Well, thank you for that, Voodoo. Yep. We're doing it, gang. We're making it happen. Unfortunately, we're not first. That's a pride thing. So let me be very, very plain with you. That's my pride getting hurt. That Missouri was not first to get the Second Amendment Preservation Act done in a very strong way. Montana actually has a very strong Second Amendment Preservation Act with a lot of teeth, and they were first. But I suspect they have fewer corrupt politicians in their state legislature than we do. So we want other states to get this done. And yep, southern Missouri, south central Missouri. Guys, I'm south of Springfield. So I'm, I'm in the county, Christian County. That's where I'm at. So, yeah, we're gonna get this done this year, gang. I got a very good feeling about it, thanks to all of you. All of you who care about this and are making phone calls, you are making the difference. Uh-oh. Did the live stream die? All the time. Did the live stream die, gang? That's where I'm at. So, hang on, gang. Yeah, we're gonna get this done this year, gang. Okay. Yeah, on the YouTube side, it shows an error has occurred. Please try again later. So at any rate, hopefully I'm still 5 by 5. Good morning to you, Ellie. Good morning. Thank you for coming in this morning. Hopefully you guys can still see and hear and everything, because actually I have an error on my YouTube studio saying that it is not working, but it looks like it may be working. So I'll refresh again. Okay, it looks like it's working. Okay, well, all right, sorry about that. Okay, all right, Dinah, thank you for coming in. And for those of you who are coming in just a little bit late, Ellie doesn't know, we went ahead and we got the Second Amendment Preservation Act, HB85, passed out of committee. We got that passed out of committee. So that is a done deal, gang. It's now going to be scheduled for the floor, and then I'll make a video just a little bit later on today about the phone numbers, the two senators we need to call to put pressure on to get this on the floor. Literally Monday or Tuesday of next week is when it'll probably happen. They are lying. Who's lying? And yes, Ellie, American Man is here. You betcha. Okay, good deal, gang. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I got a lot of stuff I got to take care of today before I make a video for the call to action. So remember now, Caleb Rowden and Dave Schatz down below in the description section. Those are the two numbers we call. We're going to be real nice, and we're going to tell them we want the Second Amendment Preservation Act, or HB85, put on the calendar in the Senate as soon as possible. And yeah, thumbs up. Thank you. Yeah. And let's see. I didn't even do that. There we go. Give myself a thumbs up, which I always forget to do. Thank all of you for everything you're doing, by the way. YouTube is lying about your live. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yep. Yeah. Hang on. Let me see if I can show it to you, gang. Here we go. Here we go. So you guys can see what I saw. See this right here? This made me think that the live stream had completely stopped and was interrupted, because normally I get to see here, basically in real time what's going on, with the pages that I'm showing, the web pages, all that fun stuff. So that's what made me think that that I'd been shut down. So, all right, okay, gang. Well, I'm gonna get going. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for participating in this process, and just helping out. It literally takes grassroots movement to make stuff like this happen. So I'm very appreciative of all of you pitching in, making phone calls, sending emails, visiting the Capitol when you can. I know some of you have done that. Resin Nunn is not here right now, but I think Resin's not here. But I think he's made visits. Jimmy D and I have made visits. Unfortunately, not this year. Last year we made a lot of visits. So, but the generals in this operation, Ron Calzone and Aaron Dorr, really appreciate the grassroots movement very much. So, all right, you guys all take care. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. Have a great Thursday, gang. Love you all, and thank you so much for being a part of this. God bless you and your families. Take care, gang.